My name is Brian Shattuck. I'm Australian and I'm an investor in 3 companies here in Colombo. These companies' assets have been stolen from me. The companies employed a total of 400 people. The first one, Metal Recyclers Colombo, was started by me, and we built up an international company importing metal from Europe and exporting to the Indian subcontinent. This was a very successful business. It went public and raised $4 million US. I, as the shareholder, found that this money has been embezzled, stolen by my fellow partner. I couldn't speak out earlier because the person that's responsible for these thefts of my shares is gammanpilage. He was a powerful politician here in Colombo, and I was afraid I would not get justice if I brought action against him. Today I am more confident that it is possible to bring these thieves and people who cheat investors to task with the new rules set up by the government here in Sri Lanka. The association started with Mr. c3-high via a phone call to my office in Australia, where he wanted to sell me 1 container of copper. This was many years ago, and I did business with him, paid him in advance, and the whole deal went perfect. A couple of weeks later, we repeated the exercise. Again, it was perfect. I was dealing with the gentleman, and I thought it was worthy jumping on a plane and coming up and introducing myself to Mr. c3-high. He met me at Colombo Airport and took me to his car, carrying my bags. He was obviously a very poor person. His car door was tied together with a piece of rope. And we developed a relationship. I liked him, he seemed genuine, and I continued to do business with him. I then brought my family, wife, 2 children up to Colombo, where we spent a week. And we decided at that stage that Mr. c3-high would like to go into business. He seemed a very nice family, and we agreed to educate his son, and I would pay his fees at Monash University in Melbourne. We also decided that we would start a small business together to make enough money so that he can pay for his son's education, and that's how my business relationship started. We were successful. I was buying large quantities of special metal out of Europe, bringing it to Colombo, and we were hand-sorting it and re-exporting it all around the Indian subcontinent. It was the perfect business. The business became quite profitable, and we expanded. Eventually, we raised $4 million US on the Colombo Stock Exchange. At this stage, gammanpilage came and worked for the company. He was smart, clever, and very intelligent. And he and Sydney bonded together as a team. Unfortunately, the good beginnings turned out to be a bad marriage, because both of them are dishonest crooks and cheated me out of any chance of being successful. We employed 400 people. We had special conditions that all the girls had to have food, at least 2 meals a day, a good salary, work clothes, and all this sanitary wear provided by the company. This was the way I wanted to run the business. The company grew and we started getting, the company grew and prospered. Gammon Peeler came on the scene and we landed up raising money on the Colombo Stock Exchange, and the company continued. I never drew 1 cent salary. I put all the money and effort back into the business. After 12 months, it was obvious something was wrong. And what was wrong was there's money missing, production was down, and the business started to flounder. I then made a further investment with Sidney Jarsinger, with Gammon Peeler's advice, backing him, in a company called Ceylon Tea Gardens. This company was to make CTC tea, and the investment for me was around about 1 million US. The company attended 2 trade fairs, one in Russia and the second at the CL Fair in Paris. At the CL Fair in Paris, we won the award for the best new product to be presented, which is a great achievement for a startup company in Sri Lanka. Sidney Jarsinger had power of attorney over my shares in metal recyclers. Note, only metal recyclers. Unfortunately, unknown to me, he used the power of attorney and abused it, and along the investment in Ceylon Tea Gardens was sold to a third-party company. I was never asked, I was never informed. He just said the business is gone. I only found out later that he had embezzled the company and transferred the shares to himself. The third investment was in Pan Asia Bank. Pan Asia Bank was a new company starting up, and I had early investment of $100,000. This investment sat for a number of years awaiting Pan Asia to go public, or which they eventually did, by which time I had been out of Colombo, by which time I'd fallen out with Sidney Jarsinger. The reason I fell out with him, I turned up at Colombo one night and Odea Gammon Peeler, with the company's director, Jagath, were there to meet me coming off the plane and advised me I was in serious trouble in Colombo. Sidney Jarsinger's sons had arranged to have me shot, and I was not to stay in Colombo. I have to leave, and Gammon Peeler and Jagath would take me to the Hilton Hotel where I always stayed, and I was to remain in my room until the following morning. And I was informed not to answer the door, do not take any phone calls. The following morning, Gammon Peeler turned up at 8 o'clock, and he again told me the serious of the threat, and I must leave Colombo today. What does an investor do? I was distressed that somebody would contemplate killing me, and after discussing this with Gammon Peeler, we agreed to cancel Sidney Jarsinger's power of attorney in metal recyclers and convert it to Gammon Peeler's name on Gammon Peeler's suggestion. Having dealt with O'Dea for a number of years, it seemed I had no alternative but to trust him at this stage. He went away to sort out a new power of attorney. I decided to go and front Sydney Jazzinger. I went to our office, which was in Goldface Road, went in to see Sydney and spoke to him. It was a very short, brief discussion. I just said, Sydney, what's wrong with our working relationship? It's all gone wrong. I was stunned with the reply. I played you out. And that was it. I left in total disarray. Disarray. And returned to the Hilton, signed a new power of attorney with gammanpilage, and I was taken to the airport and left Colombo, never to return until now. I couldn't come back earlier because I feared that gammanpilage had become quite a powerful person in Colombo, and therefore I would never be able to get justice. Now, with the change of his political fortune, I feel there's a chance for me to get justice for the theft of my money, my investment that I've got in Sri Lanka. I've already started legal proceedings by reporting the matter to the CID, who are starting to investigate the actions of gammanpilage, who I think is a cheat, a liar, and a criminal.